Thanks, Emily. Hi, everyone. I'm Naomi, and I'm the COP26 Development Officer Project Coordinator here at YouthLink Scotland. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the COP26 Scottish Youth Climate Programme, which is a partnership project between YouthLink Scotland, Young Scot, and Keep Scotland Beautiful in the lead up to and beyond the UN Climate Change Conference in November. And we're very grateful that it's being fully funded by the Scottish Government. So next slide, please. So these are the aims and outcomes for the programme more broadly: increasing climate action taken by young people, supporting them as climate champions, delivering a legacy of more young people involved in climate change policy and decision making, and then finally hosting an online youth summit to create a Scottish Youth Climate Declaration. But in addition to this, we also envisage aims and outcomes for the youth work sector more broadly. So those include creating and building a more confident and equipped climate literate youth workforce, moving us towards a more green and sustainable youth work sector, which will contribute to Scotland reaching net zero, articulating and showcasing the role of youth work in the climate emergency, and also harnessing further investment for the youth work sector. Next slide, please. So the project is split into 4 different pillars of work, the first one being the Young Person Climate Codesign Group. This group is responsible for supporting the creation of a Scotland-wide COP26 Local Champion programme. They're also supporting the training and learning opportunities for these local champions. They're co-designing the COP26 Online Youth Summit, and they're also working alongside the Scottish Government to plan and implement a legacy for the Scottish Youth Climate Programme. And then the second pillar on the next slide is the COP26 Local Champion Programme. So the applications are still open for the recruitment of 320 young people aged 11 to 26 to be part of this programme, which focuses on galvanising Scotland's young people to become climate action champions within their local communities. So they'll be raising awareness of the COP26 conference in local authorities across Scotland, highlighting and showcasing local youth climate action and connecting young people to the variety of national opportunities. And they'll be provided with their own bespoke training and resources, and we'll be connecting youth workers with the COP26 local champions to support them to work with youth groups, to highlight and amplify existing activity or to inspire local community groups to do more. And then the third pillar is the Youth Work Champions Programme. So we'll be developing and delivering climate change training to youth workers to support young people working on climate change. The climate emergency toolkit we developed in partnership last year with Keep Scotland Beautiful will be further developed. And we've also just launched the online platform that youth workers can access, which shares a variety of resources, information, opportunity, and training to support youth workers to build their own climate literacy. Be working with youth workers to develop an evaluation framework to help measure the impact of climate action youth work projects. And we're also showcasing the crucial work of youth work in reaching net zero through blogs, videos, podcasts, and social media content. And then the final pillar of activity, just on the next slide, is the COP26 Online Youth Climate Summit, which is planned to be held at the end of this month. And this will be organised by the Codesign Group and COP26 Local Champions, and will be open to all young people across Scotland. And during the summit, a climate declaration will be produced to make sure that the views and priorities of young people across Scotland are heard by decision makers, and plans are in place to present this at COP26 if possible, and also to Scottish Government. And we're also looking at the possibility of an in-person summit in the spring of next year, so 3 months since COP26 Reflection Legacy Summit. And then on the next slide, there's just a few different ways that you can get involved. So our climate emergency training for youth workers is open. We'll be adding more dates throughout the rest of the year. If you have any blogs, case studies, videos, podcasts, or any kind of creative examples of youth climate action in your organisation, please let us know so we can promote and amplify the work you're doing and showcase youth work across Scotland. As mentioned, applications for the COP26 Local Champions Programme are still open, so please encourage the young people that you work with to apply to be part of that. The deadline has been extended to tomorrow, the 7th of October, and we're looking for a total of 320 COP26 local champions across all 32 local authorities. And finally, you can access our online platform, which has been created to inspire and motivate youth workers in the wider sector through signposting to climate emergency resources, inspiration, opportunities, and events. So do feel free to get in touch if you have any questions. My details are on the next slide. And the links will be circulated and added to the chat box as well, so you have access to all of those. And I also just wanted to briefly mention that we're working with Young Scot on the first Young People's Forest in Scotland. So in a nutshell, the Young People's Forest is the creation of a forest that's being led and governed by an appointed panel of young people. So from the initial ideas phase through to sustainable planting strategies, land ownership and management structures. So it's completely co-designed with young people to ensure a future-proofed and sustainable planning process. There's a consultation open for young people across Scotland to feed their views in, and there'll be a link in the chat for you to access that and find out a bit more about the amazing work the young people are working on with that project. And thanks very much. I'll hand back over to the chairs.